the object of most of the world's affection. A famously feminine-looking Pokemon line with an 87.5% male-dominated gender ratio. And I know I'm far from the only person who used to spend hours soft resetting for a girl back when you could only get Eevee as a gift Pokemon in the mainline games. It's been a hot minute since I turned some non-human things into human things. So today I wanted to take all the Eevees and turn them into cute girls. Because I freaking can. I've designed gijinkas for Eeveelutions before, but those are like old Nuzlocke OCs, and designing a gijinka to represent a Pokemon in general versus representing your personal character is a little different. Plus, I've never actually designed a full set before, so I went into this project with high hopes for fun and very little actual ideas or plans.
But real fast before we get started, this is a sponsored video because we've got to save up money for our studio, and today we're sponsored by Life Makeover. Life Makeover is a new life simulation / social networking game. Click the link down in the description below to download now. In Life Makeover, you can completely customize your avatar, get new clothes, even make your own clothes, create your own fashion brand, stick a kitty on your titty, no one can tell you no. Once you're all dressed up, invite your friends from all over the world to your home, which you've designed to show off. Right now, they're running a limited edition banner called Guardian Cutie. It began on July 12th and ends on August 1st. And the featured 5-star outfits are themed after a panda and a rabbit. I think all the colors on this rabbit dress are just so pretty. I'm in my rainbow era. This is targeted at me. Part of the game is that you can literally design your own clothes using pieces from their library. A lot of the outfits you can go and change the colors for. But what I found the most fun was the function that lets you draw your own designs. See, I made a little bunny, look. Okay, I'll take you back to the video, hang on. And we're back! So anyway,
while sketching Eevee, I thought it would be good if I tried to make the face and eye shapes of the human designs match up with those of their Pokemon counterparts. Which would be pretty easy since they all end up with little button noses and relatively round faces, pretty much the easiest kind of face in the world to draw. I also thought it would be cute if I designed all of these characters as a found family, with Eevee as a little girl and all of the evolutions as like these big sister figures to her, not biologically related, but like figures. And she looks up to all her big sisters so much that she wants to be just like all of them, every single one. So I gave her mismatched clothes as a hint to each possible evolution and a lot of accessories because kids are fashion icons. I gave her pigtails to look like Eevee's tail and a headband with ribbons to sort of simulate the ears framed inside the ponytails. So I guess the tails are also the ears. It's fine. This is the finished first draft for Eevee. I decided after I sketched her out that I'd go and do the first drafts of all of the evolutions next, and after finishing all of the first drafts, I would go back and finalize each design. For Vaporeon, my first idea was to give her an athletic body type. And I wanted to keep my poses pretty basic for this drafting, since I figure it's better to focus on showing off the design rather than posing them nicely. I'll worry about that later. I gave her a 2-piece swimsuit under some cute little shorts, and I added some ribbons to the side of her bikini bottoms that I later reshaped to look more like Vaporeon's tail. I wanted her to look like she could have either just walked out of a swim meet or she was like ready to dive into the pool at any moment, you know? When it came to her hair, I just had to do a fishtail braid. It was too perfect, I couldn't not. And I gave her the sheer yellow cover-up to try getting the yellow from Vaporeon's fins into the design somehow. Keyword being try. I will continually try to make this cover-up work, and I will continually decide against it. For Jolteon, I sort of had a vision. I wanted to give her this rectangular body type, wanted her sharp, wanted her punk. I gave her this sick cropped leather jacket with, like, fur accents. I kept her hair nice and short, spiky like Jolteon's butt. Honestly, the outfit came together pretty quickly. If anything, I think I relied too much on using black. There's just not a lot of black in Jolteon's design, so I'll have to address that when I come back to finalize all of them. She looks a little more like Volceron right now. Whoops. We'll fix that. Flareon is so fucking fluffy. I knew I was gonna make her fat. I wanted her big, I wanted her glam. The very first thing in my mind, aside from the body type, was I wanted to give her a feather boa, and the rest of the outfit had to be coordinated around that. That was the vision. I was excited. Except, I kinda had a hard time with it. Like, I was aiming for such high glam that it edged its way out of my wheelhouse, and I don't look at a lot of stuff with this type of fashion, so I was struggling to get it somewhere I was happy with. In the end, the draft feels very basic. It looks more like a quirky middle school dance attire than like high fashion socialite. I need to up the elegance and make it a little more elaborate, and then hopefully we'll be in business. I don't know. I have high hopes for this design, but I'm not confident in this at all yet. Around here, because I was basically going into this with no ideas, I figured I might as well cast a net and see what we come up with. I asked my friends if anyone had any requests for the design of their favorite Eeveelution, and I had a couple takers. My friend Jamie begged for Espeon style to be pastel punk, so that's what I did. All for you, baby. Mwah. I know I just did this with Jolteon, but I really haven't done too many punk designs before, and I wanted them to be different flavors of punk. So I was trying to play with things like excessive buckles and adding layering to the clothing. I had fun shaping her pigtails to be like Espeon's ears and side fringe things. But then I also gave her actual side fringe just to double down on it, I guess. I wanted to try and give her some sun imagery in her outfit because I knew Umbreons would definitely have moons, so I included nice big round chains and opted to use white on most of her clothes instead of black. She ended up being super heavy on the metalwork. I thought it looked punk, but I also think I took it a little too far. And I gave her some acne in the place of Espeon's forehead gem. The finished draft is pretty cluttered. I definitely think I need to find a good way to simplify this when I come back around. For Umbreon, my friend Patrick requested that I make her, and I quote, channel all of the hot goth girls from 2000s animated shows. And I said, so true. I had a vision of giving her these huge hair twists to allude to Umbreon's ear and tail shapes, but with big gold clips in them to make them like the yellow rings on its ears. I also thought instead of trying to reflect Umbreon's ring pattern in her clothing, that I'd give her some vitiligo. Between the hair and the skin, I thought that these two elements really stood out, so I decided to keep the rest of the outfit pretty simple to not compete for your attention. I tried using bright blue for the stylized silver accents like I've been doing a lot lately. I thought it would be cute if she matched Espeon in that way, but I kept the outfit so minimal that the blue accent overpowers the yellow, and that's not what I want. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making these blue accents gold when we come back. My friend Skitty immediately suggested cottagecore Leafeon, and that is so easy. Literally so very easy. Let's go. When I was sketching out her body type, I tried to give her a cute little belly, but here's the thing about adding clothes to a character. I hate doing it. I have to cover up all the skin and the body folds that I like drawing, and it's all interesting shapes, and I have to cover it up, and I hate it. But, alas, it comes with the territory. I tried to keep the clothes pretty simple and sweet, lots of big ruffles, flowy feminine fabric, leather gloves and boots with cute little detail on them for her brown paws. Very straightforward for a Leafeon. I feel like that's an agreeable statement, probably. I wanted to add something to the skirt so it wasn't just solid green, but honestly, this is good enough as a draft for now. I'll come back to that. Those are the only ideas I was given. I went on to Glaceon completely on my own, and that should have been fine. I did the first 4 on my own, but Glaceon is the one that inspired me the least. I love Glaceon's design so much, but I had no idea how I wanted to turn this into a girl. I just kinda frantically jotted things down and prayed that something would work. Maybe I could stumble ass backwards onto a decent idea that I could finish out and call a draft. Just to get something on the page, because that's always the hardest part. I started with the idea of some hip scarves that would look like Glaceon's tail, and generally I went with clothes for colder weather, warm leggings, and I guess a virgin killer sweater, except it's under an actual sweater, so mayhaps the virgins live. I'm not the proudest of this one. It's cute, I guess, but it's not very cohesive. I'm expecting I'm going to change Glaceon and Flareon the most in the end. Which finally brings us to Sylveon. I didn't go into Sylveon with very many ideas, namely just that I'd like to give this love Pokemon some love handles. Pink and frilly and girly are not design elements that I'm stranger to though, so I wasn't worried. I went with kind of magical girl / idol vibes for her since I feel like that's pretty Sylveon core. The pigtails I gave her look both like her ears and her ribbons, and she's got this super ruffly dress with gloves and little bow decals all over the place. I gave up on the shoes. I don't like that they're plain, but whatever, I can fix that later. I'm happy with how she looks, but I can definitely imagine a couple of changes. After I finished all these first drafts, I got to do the fun part of lining them all up side by side and resizing them into their proportions all tracked with each other. That's something I definitely need to work on. If I don't have another character on canvas for reference, my proportions will vary wildly. So doing this, I got to discover how tall everyone actually was. Flareon looked like she ended up the tallest. She wasn't, it was Umbreon, but I used her as the base for resizing everyone else, and I did this by trying to match the size of everyone's heads. Overall, I was pleasantly surprised with how all these drafts turned out. I expected I'd want to experiment a lot more, but a lot of these designs, I only really want to change a couple of things about them, which is awesome because it saves me so much time. So we come back to Eevee. I think the first draft is pretty cute, but I think I could have added more to it if I really wanted to go in on the chaotic kid who dresses herself energy. So I decided instead of just wearing something for each evolution, that I could try giving her an article of clothing for every evolution's appearance, and then one accessory for every evolution method, which just required a little juggling. So she's got a bracelet for her stone evolutions, there's Tamagotchi toys on her bag for friendship and love evolutions, and then there's like Ice Rock and Moss Rock. They're both just pins on her little Pokeball Ida bag. I didn't have ideas for those. Here's the final Eevee. She has a tendency to repeat people word for word when they say something that gets her excited, and she is infamously a fountain of energy. Vaporeon, I didn't change all that much. In the end, it was mostly about cleanup, but I did add a pattern to her shorts for a little more visual detail. And I remembered that as a kid, I had friends who would put stickers on their skin before they spent a lot of time outside so that they could get a temporary tattoo in the form of tan marks. So I put some fun little decorative tan marks around her arm to kind of allude to Vaporeon's back ridge things. And I did it! I waffled on if I liked the yellow cover-up again or not. I feel like it clutters the design, so I don't know. I like the idea of it, I don't like it. So I have this other draft where I gave her funny little yellow earrings instead, and I called it good enough. These, pick whichever one you like most. This is the final Vaporeon. I think she's kind of like a classic lifeguard hunk. She's sweet, but adamant about following the rules, and she's kinda dumb. I did Jolteon, but I forgot to record it. Again, there I go again. That's okay though, she looks like this. I mostly just shaped her spiky hair a little bit more deliberately, and I changed her pants to yellow. Plus a couple of other little things. It's like a game of spot the difference. Here, have fun. But yeah, final Jolteon. She's pretty punk rock. She listens to music on her earbuds way too loud, and she's a questioning anarchist. I really thought I was gonna change Flareon's outfit a lot more than I did. I split up her neckline to make the dress a little more open, and I nixed the tights. I thought showing more skin instead of less would be a better choice for this design, and I made a bunch of other small changes that I thought felt appropriately glamorous. I was much more deliberate about the hair shape with this design too, and I feel like that went a long way. I added some extra colors to give it more identity. I tried to make sure that either the hair or the feather boa were shaded wherever the two overlapped so the yellows didn't blend together. Here's the final Flareon. She probably talks with a fake accent, and she has a funny habit of receiving flowers from secret admirers in the middle of the most random moments. Espeon I thought was pretty solid aside from being busy. I cropped her jacket so it took up less space, and I removed the studs so it wouldn't be so detailed that it was distracting. I tightened up the metal accessory detail, and I gave her a red gem on her bracelet. Just a bunch of things to serve to simplify the design. But then, while I was coloring, I was much more liberal with what material I made holographic, which immediately makes it more complicated again. But I feel like at least it's in a more focused way. Final Espeon! She sports a very over-the-top look, but she acts super reserved and mysterious, and you're pretty sure that she's subtly trying to convince you that she's a vampire. Umbreon basically did not change. I followed through on making all of those blue accessories gold, and then I was golden. Get it? You get it? I gave her a pose that I felt like would show off her hair a lot more than it did in the draft, and I kept the shading on her hair pretty simple and focused on its shapes, instead of trying to paint more individual strands. But I had an entire blast shading her dress and her shoes and making them super shiny. Here's the final Umbreon. She wants you to believe in yourself, and her clothes definitely squeak when she walks. Leafeon also really did not change, except for some flower detail I added to the skirt like I should have done in the first place. I went a little wild on the pose with the skirt though, because it sounded fun at the time to draw it all spinny and billowing up in the air. It sounded fun at the time, but oh my god, that's a lot of skirt. I do love how she turned out though. I had fun with shading the skirt ruffles and the boot details. This is the final Leafeon. She's the sweetest person you've ever met in your life, and she's trans. Glaceon is finally where we get into some substantial changes, and that's all the way at the end. Damn, I'm very happy with how this has proceeded. I considered replacing the hip scarf with an actual scarf, but I ended up giving her a nice winter coat that had the shape of Glaceon's tail as a belt, and had a fluffy collar to make the fluffy boots feel more properly incorporated. I think maybe I should have given the jacket or the sweater dress a pattern, because it might still be too plain. Like, maybe I should have used the argyle like that one of Eevee's leg warmers on the sweater. I don't know. Regardless, I'm way happier with this outfit. The final Glaceon girl always seems to know more about you than you remember telling her, but she's a fantastic tipper. And with Sylveon, again, I only wanted to refine it a little. I was fairly happy with the first draft. I added more detail to her shoes so they wouldn't just stand out as being plain, and I adjusted some of the details on her skirt. She pretty much just moved into a cute little idol pose. This is the final Sylveon. She has 4,000 followers on Instagram so far, and she's not beyond taking your phone so that you can follow her too. She means well, she's just a little overzealous. And these are all my Eeveelution gijinkas. I like to imagine they're the cast of a slice of life anime and they get up to goofy hijinks as they struggle and butt heads over being good role models and babysitters for hyperactive Eevee. I'm really happy with these. I'm fond of them. I miss doing some good old human designs. This was fun. Oh fuck, I forgot one!
Patreon, the supportive Pokemon. Patreon is an evolved form of Eevee. It evolves by experiencing strong feelings of gratitude. It is an extremely loyal Pokemon that is sensitive to others' emotions. When it senses dishonesty or ill intentions, the fur around its neck can fluff up to double in size, and its ears will begin to vibrate as a show of aggression. With practice, Patreon is capable of learning human speech and can repeat what it hears, such as reminders that by paying $2 a month, you can access everything we post. And for $5 a month, you can join our Patreon exclusive live streams. It can even learn the names of those who pay $10 a month, just like this. Rainworld, Scrambled Eggs, MC Skittles, Aubrey, Fish Hearts, Emil, Kaylee, JC Foxington, Diongo, Merlin Overloaded, Doopsy, Atticus Cy McCarthy, Zoner King 34, Angelic Pudding, Rayleigh Sheridan, Angel Aphrodite, Morgami, Liami Shell, Aquarius Sketches 13, Dreamy Elfie, The Wonderful Astrid, Zero Peachy Stars 0, Chaos Era, Goblin Dog Comics, Anika Kicked Me, Desk Create, Starsoul Studios, Trey P, Asakura Toru's #1 fan, Light of Alpha, Morgan Shadow Squatter, Snapdragon Fern, Scarab, Wing Wing, Tropical Rogue Again, Ash Falling, Yuled, Mogumi, Aki, Komodori, #1 Morag Ladare Simp, Harris the Rat King, Alpha Artige, Alpha AC Roberts, Luxtorium, Shy Demon Ulu, Darkheart, Blue, Jade Warlock, Honey Dude, Beetlesticks, Christina Respeto, Caster, Pebble Lee T, Ursula 707, Data Fox, Jaxelberry, Sprite Bull Conceptio, Kaiji Purin, River Pancakes, Krell 3, Ash is Too Common, Crummy Noid, Via V Velvy B, Natalia the Written 73, The Loud Artist, Just a Sketchy Nerd, The Name's Raymond, Aaron the Confused, M Trey, Arsa Dechu, Helpup, Sizor Reaper, Tabby Laffy Annie, Sunny Side Up, Sketchy Beats, Midge Mayhem, It's a Me Mari, Oculus Portfolio, Mar Please, Nabura, Sushi McNushi, Isaga Inkblood, Jesper Barrel Alabaster, Solux, Gabriel Clinner, Sailor Starbones, Arya Days, Charlie the Kitten, Ambit Bunny, Twisted Mind, Ace, Punya, Shrimpy Boy, Bo Cinnabarol, Claire AD, King Jester, Moon Pie Dumpling, Jamie Cloud, Larice, Dahlia Dreamcraft, Sirius Star, Vesosile, Rainy's Corner, Nerd King 14, Creepy LPS 44, Blazing Locust, Sparky Knight, Snail, Devin J. Allen, Connor Robinson, Nikolai Galgaxian, Honeybeast, Fond NB, Martin Anderson, Jay Rybloom, Buttercat Row, Eddie Star, Enma Baby, EC Art, Goji Dragon, Vendetta, Chalisu, Elizabeth Ishii, Popsicle Personified, Tazara, Starling Studio, Leon Dexter, Radio, Fathoms, Your Resident Disney Princess, PTR Draws, Fool and Cool, The Crystal Paladin, Damn Creativity, SL Emmy, Mim Silvernote, CJ Duffy, Sable Skies, Sweetly Sinstra, The Sleepy Detective, Mark Delar, Bun Bun Boy, L. Ubies, Exorcist Lilium, Gravity Drop, Sammy Sammer, Miss Contrary, Mist, Queen Sonoko, Night King, Sunset Lemonade, Philip the Yokai, Lucas Might Be Mothman, Kimiki Miata, Red V, Nate Art, Young Nanner, Shards of Shattered Space, Gremlin, Cassie Wrights, Phyllis Scream, It Fucking Windy, Blue, Genuine Hero, Mario Medina, Skeeter Boy Goblin, Zephyr Christos, Spidey Jr., Zeolia, Ghosty Goat, Karina, Floraline, Kitty Freak, Gelitis, Phantom Bagel, Zachary Borges, Jake Van True, Madison, Dragon Draws, Stymphalion, Tiger, Capri Crocker, Basically BB, Monster Freak, The Legend of Alice, Danny Glitter, Johnny Ariano, Rain Jake, Luna Lou, The Mew, Boring Studios, Luna Yoku, Daphne Jolie, Nya Pasu, Egoat, Gallivanting Galliforms, Inger Lees, Sean M, Jordan Ripley, Dusk, Drawbar, Bowie Knife, Thunder Evermore, Orion of the Stars, E. Henry, Mama Peaches, Fire Newt 451, Madu, Berserker 102, Michael, Emiraki, Cat Dagger 2, Dracos, Fuzzy Shadow 2468, Scully Sweet, Winrin, oh my god, Jacob Goodwin, DJ Cat, Meow, Embla, Fields of Starlight, Project Empyrean 5, Sweet Kitsu, Scriblet, Ginger Emu, Womelsdorf Art, Lauren, Chiodo, Archibald Anarchy, Dylan MX, Molochu, Alien Drag Queen, Shortcake Snake, Andre, Dojo Kid, Mew Kichigo, Nekozawa, Zalphus, Key the Queen, Puercy, Makaru, Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Dust Lotus, Russell the Jimmies, Nikos Darcy, Andrew Robinson, Kristaru, Kurt Coleman, Cody Richard, Hikari Yu, Johnny Stars, Char Stark Strange, Peachy Min, Ashfear, Aswix. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Beep beep.